Hey everybody, it's PhotoJoseph and my roommate.
I'm Brandon Butch.
What's your channel, Brandon?
Brandon Butch is my channel as well. I make videos on the iPhones. I compare them to the Androids and do a lot of software in depth. What's new in the new software and things like that.
Awesome. And your channel's pretty big. You're a lot bigger than mine.
Yeah, I'm getting close to 400,000 right now. So check it out if you have an iPhone.
Good roommate to have, right? Right on. So we just thought we'd do a quick little recap of VidSummit 2019. So I did videos live from VidSummit 2018. At the end of it, it was total cheesy, just off my phone. And I thought this time we could do something a little bit better. Have you join me, talk about what we learned today.
Yep.
Just some of our takeaways. I got a bunch of notes. It's all in his head. He's younger, he can handle that sort of thing. But what was one of your first things that comes to mind, your big takeaways from today?
One of my biggest takeaways was from Andrew Edwards, who's actually in my niche for tech. And he talked a lot about brand deals and, approaching brands and things like that. And I think one of the biggest things that stood out to me was having not just a media kit, but a very specific media kit geared towards that specific brand. Because if you think about it, probably nobody else that pitches that brand is going to go to that length, to get their attention. And it's definitely going to stand out. And it's definitely going to be, show that you really want to work with them and you did your research and things like that. And they're going to be a lot more willing to invest in you and, work with you on whatever you want to do and pay your price that you're asking.
Right. And it helps to justify the price that you might be asking for.
Exactly.
Yeah. He was saying basically how a lot of times he sent out this media kit and people are like, oh, we've never gotten this before. And the whole idea is that his thing is trying to get brands to sponsor your channel, to do sponsored videos, whatever it might be. But if you're going to ask for real money, you got to be able to justify it.
Right.
And he talks about things like tracking your links. You can say, look, if I do a video, it gets this many views, this many people click through to wherever the destination page is, and averages. And obviously, you're going to look at your best videos. You'll look at like your top 10 performers.
Right.
Put that together into Media Kit. That's really smart.
Yeah, and it's much more than just views and likes and things like that as well. It's like more so like how many sales can you actually generate?
Right. And you don't always know how many sales. I mean, if you're selling on Amazon, then you can track the sales. Right. But like I was chatting with a vendor that I've worked with before last night at the party. And we're looking up and I'm saying, well, I've sent, 1,000 links to 1,000 clicks to your webpage. But at that point, it's out of my hands. Right. And someone else had said, maybe it was him, that it's really about the traffic you drive to them. That's what matters to them, because at that point, they're in control. They're in charge. Right. If they can't convert that traffic to a sale, that's on them. Mm-hmm. Right. But I did my job. I sent them to your page, and now it's up to you to turn it into a sale. So at that point, if they're not turning it into a sale, that's out of my control.
Right. And it's more brand awareness too. Like a lot of times it's really good brand awareness. Like yesterday I was telling somebody about this watch band that I'm wearing, and he literally said he was going to buy it that night. So you can't really track things like that.
Right.
So it's so much more than that. But I mean, it's a good point, because it's one of the few things that is, trackable. You can track that and measure the exact ROI, and these companies are looking for that. But so much more to it too.
For sure. So that was Andrew Edwards. Yeah, his was definitely good.
Yeah.
The next thing that I wrote down is actually not from one of the talks. It was just at lunch. There was some person I was chatting with who, I don't remember the channel offhand, but she was apparently like a brand advisor type channel advisor. But then we looked, and the channel is actually quite small. So you always kind of question, if you're, why don't you have a huge amount of subscribers if that's what your job is? But anyway, regardless of that person's success or lack thereof, there was a really interesting point that they talked about not putting the links to your YouTube videos on Facebook or on Twitter or on anywhere else, because those social media networks are basically competing with YouTube, and they are much less likely to promote the video. So if I put, I got this new video on Twitter, on YouTube, and I put that link on Facebook and I put the link to it, it's going to get hardly any views. But if I put some text and a short video, an actual video that's on Facebook, and maybe it's a summary of it, maybe it's the first 30 seconds of it, but just it's a video that's actually on Facebook, and don't include the link because it sees that YouTube link and it's going to kill you, that you'll get much better traction. So then in the video itself, you'd have to say, maybe you have it as a title card, or you just say it, hey, come and make sure you see the latest video, to watch the rest of this video, come here.
Right.
That was interesting. They said even you could put the link in the comments, and that you can kind of get away with. But putting that link in there is not good.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard about that for years now. It's always been a thing for, ever since Facebook reach fell off. That was one of the big things for brands is, when you just post YouTube videos constantly, that's what it's going to be. So
yeah, because then you're just directing traffic away. Like they don't want you to do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. But a lot of people also at the same time don't really care about growing a huge Facebook audience. They kind of just want everything to be on YouTube, so they really don't care.
Right, but you also want people on Facebook to see the video and go to YouTube, right? And if they're not seeing that video, then they just don't see it, right? If they're not already subscribers,
exactly. And a lot of times, like if you upload that video to Facebook, it's going to take longer. You have to, do things like that. And you're not going to get paid for it. You're not really going to get tons of engagement. You'll get more views and things like that. But a lot of people see it as like, okay, YouTube's where I get paid. YouTube's where I'm trying to grow. So,
but you still got to get the traffic there, and you get it there from wherever you can, right? And so that's why I think you wouldn't want to upload the whole video to Facebook, because then people aren't going to go to YouTube. But if you put the first 30 seconds, or maybe even record, like somebody else I was talking to was saying, maybe record a short piece, like a 30-second summary. So in this video, I made a video where I'm talking about the new iPhone. It's got this, and this. It's pretty awesome. Go check out the whole video over on YouTube.
Right.
That could be a good lead.
That's a lot of effort. So that'd be definitely somebody that's really popular.
Right? Exactly.
It has somebody else doing it maybe or something. But And
same thing for LinkedIn. I saw a chat talking about business on LinkedIn and how that's really growing. Video on LinkedIn is huge. But again, you can't really monetize that. You want to drive the traffic, but you just dump a link in there, it's not going to get the traction. So same kind of thing. Same kind of thing. Let me ask you this. This is something I picked up last year. I think it was from Peter McKinnon's talk, actually, talking about the importance of having your crew, and he calls it his dope squad, right? And it's like his crew of people that he's really tight with, that he can bounce ideas off of and so on. And I don't really have that. I live in a small town. There's no other YouTubers around me that I know of. And I've talked to some other tubers around here who do have that, but then some have kind of a virtual network. Do you have anything like that?
Yeah. So pretty much all of my competitors aren't really competitors, because I talk to them in a friendly way. Some are bigger than me, some are smaller than me, some are about where I'm at. But pretty much everybody in the niche that makes the type of videos I make, I text with them. Like, they have my number, we talk, we bounce ideas off each other. You know, is YouTube acting up for you too? Yeah, it is for me. Just things like that. It's because it's like, as creators, it's like we don't really have, pretty much nobody, unless you live in like New York City or LA, can just talk to somebody in person about YouTube stuff and them understand. Yeah. So it's like really nice to have people like that. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's something I still got to build up.
Yeah, for sure.
You got something else you want to jump on?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest takeaways from this whole conference was not even anything to do with the talks, just the networking with people. Like, I've learned so much more, I want to say, just from talking with people and learning about their thought process. And I've seen so many like creators that are so niche down to like niches that are like a niche inside of a niche inside of a niche. So it's like really taught me that you can be successful like doing like the most niche thing. Sure. Like, there was somebody I met that does, I think I told you about this. He does like documentary style videos specifically on drivers of not just Porsches, but classic Porsches.
Jeez. Yeah.
And it, apparently landed him a TV show.
Wow. So. Well, and I'm sure something like that too. It's that aspirational, I'll never own that type of Porsche, but I would love to know everything about it, kind of a thing, right?
Yeah. But it's just super niche, and it kind of just opens your eyes to like what people are doing. It's like, wow, I didn't think of that. It makes you kind of rethink what you're doing and how can I go a little deeper. Sure. Things like that. Sure. So, yeah.
Do you ask in your videos to subscribe? Do you recommend, hey, don't forget to subscribe?
Every time.
Every time.
At the very end. I never say it before the very end.
Okay. You wait until the end. That's interesting. Yeah. I've been kind of on the fence about that. It always feels a little bit, not cheesy. I don't know. I don't really like saying it that much, but I know, you should do it, right? It's a good thing to do. And I was kind of wondering how much of a difference it made. And Chad and V, who do a kids TV show, show, they were saying that would they do it kind of every other time, but they definitely notice when they do say it that there is a jump. You do get more subscribers when you say it, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, I tested that same thing about like a couple years ago. And what I do is in every video, I will not just say subscribe for so-and-so. Every single video is very unique. It's specific to that video. And I say to subscribe for more, whatever that video that I just made was.
More about the Apple Watch, more about the iPhone.
And sometimes I'll even go deeper and say, something very specific. Like if you want to know more about Apple Watch bands, the next bands that I get, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video. Right. So it's much more than just saying subscribe. Yeah, okay. And I like to give the value at first. That's why I don't say it at the beginning. There's people that say subscribe right at the beginning, but it's like,
why should I? Yeah. Right.
So
and of course, most people don't make it all the way to the end. We know that because our percentage of viewage is much lower than that. But for those that do, I guess that's true. It's like if you actually made it this far, then don't forget, if you like this much of my video, then you might want to see another one. Right. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. A lot of talk about the algorithm. Obviously, that's the thing. It's the algorithm. It's the algorithm. It's like the big mystery. No one really knows. But this one, this is the Chad and V chat again. They were talking about audience matching. They called it finding your cluster, studying what people who are watching your videos, what else they're watching. And if you dig deep enough into the stats, you can find exactly which videos were referring to your videos. And then looking at those, evaluating those channels and seeing what they're doing and realizing there's some similarity in the topics and kind of focusing on that. If those people actually click through and watch your videos, then that can help too. I mean, there's so much that you can do. You spend all your time doing the analytics and not have any time to make a video.
That's pretty much what I do.
Which can definitely get pretty crazy. But the other thing they said that I thought was kind of interesting was to link in your description, linking to similar channels. Like you find these channels, like let's say that I determined that from looking at the stats that your videos were sending traffic to me. Okay, so now I put in my description links to your videos, because then the algorithm will see that if people are going to click on them, some people will. People see that people who watch my channel are also watching yours, and then it's going to flip that around and go, well, maybe people who watch your stuff is going to be more likely to watch mine.
I've never tested that or tried that.
Yeah, so I thought that was an interesting one.
That is.
It's definitely worth trying.
Yeah,
it's hard to know which of these things really work, right? Unless you're doing massive views, it's so much data to go through to really parse it out.
Right. And when I run, because I'll do little studies on the algorithm as well. For years I've done it. So I take stuff and put it in spreadsheets. But something like that would take like at least 6 months of research to really come to a conclusion.
Yeah. So then the last thing that I've got here that I'm going to check out, and I haven't looked at the website yet, but this last talk that I was at was a representative from this company called videoamigo.com.
I've heard of it.
You've heard of it? Have you ever used it?
I've never used it, no.
Okay. So it seems to be another one of these analytics things, but it looked like from the presentation it had a bit of a different approach, to the point where it'll analyze across your entire channel, every video, looking at the likes, the versus dislikes, the retention, everything, and start to recommend these types of videos, these topics, are performing the best for you. And like a really big high level picture of this is what you can do. And it's definitely an AI type of approach to it. But it's interesting. And some of the services apparently are free. Didn't say how much they cost for the paid ones, which is always a little scary.
Yeah.
but I'm definitely going to check it out. It's worth giving a try and seeing.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of like what vidIQ does and TubeBuddy and everything. It's like you can see all that data if you sift through the analytics.
Right.
You can see the real data, but they make it really accessible and easy to see. Log in.
And this it looked quite different from those, because I use TubeBuddy and I don't use vidIQ, but I've checked that out.
Right.
TubeBuddy I'm a subscriber to.
Okay.
But I'm going to check that out.
Yeah, I have to remember that.
It's definitely interesting. Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. Last one I'm going to throw. Do you got another one?
No.
Okay. Last one I'm going to throw in is, I know I talked about this last year, and over this. Last year at VidSummit, and over the last year I have tried to edit my videos to under 10 minutes. I've had this idea that sub 10-minute videos are more likely to get watched, and part of it is just experience looking at my videos and which ones are getting more views, and part of it is comments. If the videos are longer, people saying, make it shorter. Running my own tests of doing shorter videos and seeing them perform better. But then something really interesting someone says, if it's over, those who are really savvy will make the video 10 minutes and 1 second, so it's over 10 minutes, because you get more ad revenue. You qualify for mid and post-roll ads, plus you're more likely to get a pre-roll ad if someone's watching a bunch back to back. And I was like, well, I wonder if that, is that really the case? And now I'm like, damn it, should I be making longer videos again?
Yeah, so I have kind of the total opposite opinion, because I've studied this extensively for years. And I find that not only do longer videos perform better, like in search, especially if you're trying to rank for a keyword, the longer the video, the more the watch time, probably the more comments, because people have already invested so much time into the video that they're going to comment and things like that. Okay. But it used to be 10 minutes, everybody would just try to get over 10 minutes. But I did a study, last year, and I found that, since everybody started doing 10 minutes, it started not really mattering in the algorithm anymore. So then I went to 12 minutes, and that's what I found ranked higher than the videos that were 10 minutes. And if you take a look at Mr. Beast, who, if anybody knows how to crack the algorithm, it's Mr. Beast. Right. Almost all of his videos are 12 to 13 minutes.
Really?
So I like studying people like that and kind of seeing
makes sense.
what they're doing, because just read between the lines and you can find out a lot of information.
You need a full-time person to do all the analytics. I just want to make videos someone else can do it. It's tough.
Yeah,
it is
tough.
A
lot to it. Yeah,
cool.
For sure.
Well, this is just day one. There's a lot. Did you get anything else you wanted to throw in?
No, that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot in one day, and tomorrow's another full day of this. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Well, if I can get him, we'll try and do this again tomorrow. Do another wrap up. It'll be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Right on. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
This is good. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yep.
See you guys tomorrow, I hope.
Yep. See you guys.